Governing policies on God or gender and development. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to understand the concept of gender and how it impacts development policies and initiatives, analyze how gender biases and stereotypes influence the formulation and implementation of development policies, and evaluate the effectiveness of existing governing policies on gender and development in addressing gender inequality and promoting gender equality. First, we have to identify the meaning of God or gender and development. According to UNESCO of 2000, it is an approach that seeks to integrate gender awareness and competence into mainstream development, while recognizing that development activities may affect women and men differently or due to sexual differences as well as historic circumstances, and therefore emphasizing the need to apply appropriate gender planning in order to ensure that the resulting conditions and results are equitable to women and men. Creating legal actions through enactment of laws is a means of reaching such worthwhile endeavor. So from the title itself, gender or kasarian, development, kung paano mag-grow ng mas better yung pagtingin natin sa isyong ito. And actually hindi siya issue dahil nagiging issue na lang siya base sa maling pagtingin ng mga tao. Ngayon, meron tayong mga batas na ipinatutupad para naman makamit natin ang hustisya ng mga maling paratang sa atin. So, ano-ano ba yung mga maling paratang na to o yung mga maling pag-iisip na to sa atin? Ang babae ay dapat nasa loob ng bahay lang, tagalinis, tagaluto, at magsisilbi sa mga asawang lalaki. At si lalaki naman kailangan siya yung nagpo-provide para sa pamilya, kung minsan itinuturing na parang hari. Mas mataas ang pagtingin sa mga lalaki dahil sa kakayahang pisikal nga naman nila. According to Republic Act 9710 o Magna Carta of Women, ang sabi sa Chapter 1 Section 3 ng Principles of Human Rights of Women, all individuals are equal as human beings by virtue of inherent dignity of each human person. No one, therefore, should suffer discrimination on the basis of ethnicity, gender, age, language, sexual orientation, race, color, religion, political, or other opinion, national, social, or geographical origin, disability, property, birth, or other status as established by human rights standards. So, ito po ay isang batas para sa proteksyon ng karapatang pantao ng mga kababaihang Pilipino at ang layunin nito ay tanggalin ang lahat ng uri ng diskriminasyon kung ikaw ay lalaki, ako ay babae, pareho tayong pantay dahil at the end, pareho pa din tayong tao. Republic Act 11313 or Safe Space Act. Sabi sa Rule Number 1, Section 3, Declaration of Policies, it is the policy of the state to value the dignity of every human person and guarantee full respect for human rights. It is likewise the policy of the state to recognize the role of women in nation building and ensure the fundamental equality before the law of women and men. The state also recognizes that both men and women must have equality, security, and safety not only in private but also in the streets, public spaces, online, workplace, and educational and training institutions. So, ang purpose lang din po nito ay magkaroon ng equality ang lahat ng babae. Siyempre, pati na din po ang mga lalaki. Yung tinatawag nating sense of belonging na dapat nararamdaman mong ligtas ka kahit nasaan ka man, kahit nasa public, private place, nasa online, kahit nasaan ka pa. Kinakailangan maramdaman mo na ligtas ka. Memorandum Circular or Revised Guideline for the Preparation of the Gender and Development Agenda. So, ang purpose po nito, this Memorandum Circular provides the guidelines and procedures in the formulation, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the multi-year GAD agenda as basis for the annual GAD plans and budgets of agencies. So ito yung mga policy na ginagawa ng gobyerno, nandyan yung mga guidelines para sa paghahanda para sa pinaiigting na gender and development. Nandyan ang mga implementation, monitoring, at evaluation kada taon. Kung nasusunod ba yung mga plano at syempre yung budget, kailangan na monitor din. CSC MC number 48 series of 2013 directing all concerned government agencies to adopt the gender equality guidelines in the development of their respective media policies and implementing programs in order to promote gender mainstreaming. So dito po sinasabi na lahat ng government agencies kailangan mai-implement maigi yung gender equality guidelines for media. Dapat merong gender equality guide, code of ethics for media, at yung guidelines to protect women against discrimination in media and in film. Halimbawa, kailangan maging maingat sa mga pagbabalita, sa mga pinapalabas sa TV to avoid discrimination and gender biases. Kailangan walang matatapakan ng mga kababaihan o kahit anumang kasarian. Memorandum Circular Number 201-01 or the Guidelines for the Creation, Strengthening, and Institutionalization of the Gender and Development Focal Point System. So ang purpose po nito ay para mag-provide ng guidelines at procedures para mas mapaigting yung GAD sa mga constitutional bodies, government departments, agencies, sa mga schools at syempre para maklarify yung role at responsibility ng layuning ito. Kaya nga po maging sa paaralan ay naituturo ang mga bagay na ito ay para din po na pag-aaralan natin o natututunan natin kung ano din ang mga tungkol sa gender and development. CSC MC number 12 series of 2005 or the use of non-sexiest language in all official documents, communications, and issuances. So dito po kailangan sinasabi na kinakailangan natin maging very sensitive sa mga in terms of language. Halimbawa, iwasan ang paggamit ng he, his, or him. Halimbawa po nito ay the architect uses his blueprint to guide him. Imbis na gamitin ang salitang him, pwede mo namang sabihin na the architect uses a blueprint as a guide. Diba? Masasabi mo yung idea or yung thought nang hindi mo kailangang banggitin yung sex na nasa example. Another example naman sa mga profesyon o mga trabaho, iwasan ang salitang mga salesman, sales lady. Instead, dapat gamitin natin ang salitang sales agent. Bakit po kinakailangan ng mga ganito? Siyempre po, para po maiwasan nga po ang gender biases. Joint Memorandum Circular PCW NEDA DBM or Joint Circular Number 2012-01 Guidelines for the Preparation of Annual Gender and Development Plans and Budgets and Accomplishments Report to Implement the Magna Carta of Women. So dito po, kailangan daw po yung plano at budget ay well monitor. Kailangan ini-evaluate siya kada taon kung ano ba, kung nasusunod ba yung plano o baka nasasayang na lang yung budget pero hindi naman pala nai-implement ng mabuti yung mga batas na isinasagawa. So walang development kapag mayroong gender biases or discrimination. Acquired knowledge. As a BSBA major in Human Resource Management, it is important for us to learn and educate about gender and development because we will apply all the learnings that we acquire from this subject. This lesson will enhance our skills and knowledge, especially when hiring people. By knowing the laws, we, as future human resources, treat people with respect and put an end to discrimination because everyone has the right to be treated with dignity in accordance with human rights. So, simple lang po, no? Malaking bagay ang pag-aaral ng gender and development sa ating mga mag-aaral bilang isang human resource management dahil magagamit natin ito, lalo na yung mga batas, magagamit natin to sa ating mga susunod na magiging trabaho. lahat ng mga natututunan natin ay maia-apply natin sa ating magiging trabaho. Kinakailangan na sinasariwa natin at iniintindi natin kung ano yung mga bagay na pinag-aaralan natin ngayon.